Hi, I'm Jen Vimont, founder of Beyond the States. So as many of you know, we recently moved from North Carolina to Portugal. We actually moved in just a couple of days before the state of emergency was declared in the country and we were put on lockdown. We live in a town called Cascais. It's about 30 minutes from Lisbon and it's right on the ocean, which is super nice. They closed the ocean promenade during the state of emergency, but when I walk to the grocery store, I'm able to walk on the street that parallels the ocean, and really it's the highlight of my day through these times. So anyhow, I decided to start doing some video blogs. It's going to make me, run a brush through my hair from time to time, if nothing else. And it's also going to get me better at looking at where I'm supposed to look on my computer for the camera. I have a habit of talking to the screen image of myself, which I'm sure you'll see as evidence through this, but I'm okay with that. But today I want to talk about the free time that many of us and our teenagers have on our hands right now. As you may know, my daughter Ellie, she's a sophomore, and she's been attending an online high school this year. We knew we'd be moving before the school year was over, and we figured it would be easier than trying to find a place where she could start mid-year. So she's doing 10th grade through virtual high school, and then she'll start at an international school in the fall. So it's also allowed her to travel a lot with me this year, which has been really incredible for both of us. But one thing I've learned through her online school experience is how much time in a regular school day at a brick and mortar school must be spent on non-academic matters. They spend time changing classes, taking attendance, behavior management stuff, busy work, and those types of things just aren't part of her day. So she's able to complete her classes and assignments each day in much less than a traditional, a 7-hour school day. And this is with 2 AP classes. With so many schools shut down right now and using online learning, you might be seeing the same thing. That, along with the social distancing measures many of us have in place right now, make excessive free time a little bit less enjoyable. So I find that it's really often hard to plan for the future when we're in the middle of a crisis. The focus is more about getting through each day or getting through each segment of the day. The problem is that this strategy leaves us completely unprepared for when things are stabilized. So we might need to be more flexible with our plans, but we still need to anticipate the future and work towards goals. So I'm doing this a little bit myself with a few personal goals. The first thing I'm doing is working on learning Portuguese. Languages really don't come easily to me. I took 4 years of high school Latin, but I'm making myself work on this daily. And I'm looking forward to the days when I communicate with people other than, just at the grocery store. The other thing I'm working on is my flexibility. I can't even touch my toes. And as I'm getting older, I'm finding that this is causing a lot of aches and pains, but I've always struggled with finding the motivation to stretch. It's boring to me, and because I lack the flexibility, it's not physically comfortable either. But I bit the bullet and signed up for an online class that walks me through what I need to do for 15 minutes each day, and to allegedly, we'll see about this, double my flexibility in a month. Although, 0 times 2 still equals 0, but trying to stay positive about it. So I've also thrown a fun project in there as well, which is I ordered a bottle of wine from each region in Portugal so I could learn about the differences and which I prefer. So, I have to put on my list each day to do the language learning and the stretching, but this is one goal I remember to do pretty regularly. But really all of these, in a time of such uncertainty, it feels good to be working towards something. So it's hard to imagine right now, but at some point, the worst of this health crisis is going to be behind us. I hope that things are going to be relatively normal by fall of 2020, though normal might look different than it used to. But certainly by fall of 2021 or 2022, when some of your kids will be starting university, this is going to be well in the past. Unfortunately for many of us, the economic impact of social distancing measures are really hitting hard and affecting college savings. So how about some good news? So each year after the database updates are complete, we update our numbers for the average tuition of the English taught bachelor's degree programs in continental Europe. So get this. There are 1,953 English taught bachelor's degree programs in continental Europe. So this is not the UK, just continental Europe. And the average tuition for all these programs is $7,390 a year. And remember, most of these just take 3 years to complete. So when you start looking at the country level, it's even more astounding. We have the Czech Republic, home of two of my favorite cities, Prague and Brno, great schools in both of them, with an average of $4,675 per year. There's Norway, one of the happiest places in the world, according to studies, and they're at an average of $930 a year. Now that's because they're one of the few countries that still has free tuition at their public universities for international students. There are a few of those left. And then there's Estonia, which I think is a hidden gem for international students, and their average tuition is $5,420 a year. We have Sweden and Denmark with the highest averages, each at about $13,500. Can you imagine? $13,500 a year is what's considered on the high side, as opposed to, $35,000, even $50,000 a year being on the high side. So what do we know? We know that our kids have extra time right now. We may have extra time right now ourselves. We know that at some point in the future, we're not going to be confined to our houses. And we know that money might be tight and our investments might have suffered some losses. So if you have even a small interest in college in Europe, this is a fantastic time to explore these options in depth. Because of the financial issues facing many of us right now, I know that committing to a monthly membership fee can feel like a no-go. So over the years, I've developed a number of courses to help students and families navigate the options in Europe, and I'd like to tell you about some of these options and some special offers I have going around these right now as well. We have our best-selling course, Choosing a University in Europe, and this walks you through the process of finding the right school. It actually uses a process and teaches a process I use when I'm working on best fit lists for students. The course helps you determine the criteria to search, including budget, admissions, field of study, location-specific criteria, and more. It includes 30 days of database access, so you can conduct your own search using the criteria you come up with through the activities included with each lesson. So that class is really the best starting point, but we have other courses that help you navigate other aspects of exploring college in Europe as well. There's one that provides information about the admissions process, another that helps you determine what area of study is right for you, one that talks about business schools in Europe, and another that talks about the options in the Netherlands, since they have the largest number of English taught options and a huge variety of disciplines represented, even liberal arts. So right now, I'm offering 50% off all these courses, which means that most are just $25. So both parents and students can benefit from these courses. They're completely self-paced, so you can finish as quickly or as slowly as you like. And we also have an option, it's optional of course, if you'd like some personalized support through the course as well. So my son Sam, he's with us in Portugal right now. This is actually my home office / Sam's room, so I had to wake him up so I could get in here to do this morning, if you consider 11:30 this morning. Anyhow, his Dutch university, like most, they've canceled face-to-face classes for the rest of the semester. So the lectures are recorded, and then tutorials, which are like the small seminars, they're done through Skype calls. So like most of the students I've worked with, he's really eager to get back to his life in The Hague and tells us regularly. So his tuition at Leiden University is on the higher side of the European tuition range. It's $11,350 a year. Despite that, overall, over the full program, the full degree program, we're paying about $200,000 less than we would at a comparable U.S. private university. And we're even paying $40,000 less than we would for in-state tuition at one of the flagship state schools in North Carolina, where we were residents. If the numbers sound unbelievable to you, I mean, they are pretty unbelievable. Check our blogs. We have the numbers. I ran the numbers, and I have some blogs with those as well. So what am I telling you about today? I'm telling you about $25 to take action toward preparing for when the virus is behind us, $25 to learn about high-quality educational experiences, to avoid student loans, to avoid second mortgages, to avoid using retirement savings for tuitions, $25 to provide life-changing opportunities for our kids, life-changing experiences, and to provide them with opportunities that will give them a competitive edge in the workplace when they graduate. If any of these benefits appeal to you, then follow the link that we're going to have here to sign up for the courses.